Live at 11, CBS 47 Fox 30 Action News Jax starts right now.
Right now, the FBI and other law enforcement have surrounded the home of the suspect in that mass shooting in Maine that left 18 people dead, more than a dozen others hurt. I'm Chandler Morgan in Fort Seneca.
I'm John Bachman, and they are looking for 40-year-old Robert Card. They say that he's responsible for the shootings at the two locations in Lewiston, Maine last night. They're at his home in Bowden, Maine. This is a few miles away. Investigators say, and his cousin say that he is an Army reservist who was hospitalized this summer for mental health issues.
He's got a lot of problems up in his head right now. One of them's schizophrenic.
Well, new video shows armed agents moving in on Card's home just there, and they could be heard using a bullhorn saying, "We know you're inside, come out with your hands up." But the head of Maine's Department of Public Safety says that's a standard search warrant announcement.
Both Maine and Florida have a process to take guns away from people with mental illness. Florida's red flag law was adopted 5 years ago after 17 people died in the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Broward County. Action News Jax Annette Gutierrez is live in the studio. And Annette, there are big differences between Maine and Florida's laws.
Yes, both red and yellow flag laws are a way to prevent mass shootings by people who have showed clear evidence of having mental health challenges. Maine's yellow flag law requires one extra step that Florida's red law flag doesn't. Maine's mass shooter, Robert Card, was an Army reservist. He reportedly showed signs of erratic behavior over the summer. Action News Jax law and safety expert Dale Carson says the military would address those issues.
Certainly, if the military was aware of it, they would have an obligation to do something about it.
The yellow flag law in Maine requires police to first get a doctor to evaluate the person before police can petition a judge. And after the judge gives the order, police can collect all the firearms in the person's possession. Florida's red flag law allows police to immediately petition a judge to decide if guns should be taken from a person that's a threat to themselves or others. It starts with a civilian call to the police first, followed by a court hearing.
During that hearing, the evidence to suggest that someone shouldn't have access to a firearm has to be clear and convincing for the court to issue an order.
Police in Florida can also Baker Act people.
The Baker Act allows the government to put someone in 72 hours worth of care to determine whether or not they are a threat to themselves or another.
State Representative Angie Nixon has been vocal about toughening gun laws. In a statement, Nixon says in part, quote, "We need to look at stronger policy around guns, period. It makes absolutely no sense that a man with a well-documented history of mental illness that made multiple threats of violence should have access to military-grade weapons." And the Florida Department of Law Enforcement says the state has nearly 4,000 risk protection orders in place. The red flag law has been used 285 times in Duval County between March 2018 to the end of 2022. And during that same time frame, it was used 21 times in Nassau, 15 times in St. John's, and 5 times in Clay. For local coverage you can count on, reporting live in studio, Annette Gutierrez, Action News Jax.
The Duval County School District has reassigned a former basketball coach accused of having sex with a minor. We've asked JSO to release a mugshot for Paul McPherson. He is a former coach at Englewood High School, also played for a bit in the NBA. JSO says that he faces 5 felony charges, including unlawful sexual activity with a minor. He's the 6th DCPS employee arrested this year. Action News Jax Ben Ryan is live at Englewood High School. Ben, you've learned how investigators put this case together.
Yeah, John, I learned from a source that a lot of it was from DNA evidence along with online messages after the victim came forward.
Tonight, a former boys basketball coach for Englewood High, security guard, and former NBA player is in jail.
It's a good school. I'm surprised.
Paul McPherson is behind bars accused of having sex with a minor. His mugshot hasn't been released yet. An unredacted report I got from a source says the victim was a 16-year-old girl. That unredacted source report says the two engaged in sexual activity on more than one occasion and smoked together. And at one point, she told Englewood staff members about it, adding she saw the 45-year-old possibly taking a photo or video of her during one of their sexual encounters. Action News Jax learned that McPherson had a very short stint in the NBA playing for the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. The unredacted report I got from a source says it started after McPherson offered to drive her home from school several times and told her to walk to a fast food spot nearby so nobody would see her get in the car. Gail Jackson's granddaughter attends Englewood High and was unaware of the charges until we told her.
I think it's deplorable if he's guilty. You know, if it's true, I think it's deplorable because that's a position of trust. And it would be really sad to hear.
Since January 2022, at least 5 other DCPS employees faced criminal charges. 2 of them had their charges dropped. Former DCPS janitor Wayne Williams pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 51 months in state prison. And Jeffrey Clayton is accused of molesting a high school student. He is due back in court on Halloween.
Now, in a message to families, the school said that he was reassigned from the school to district duties with no student contact. That was on September 5th of this year, following the initial allegations. Now, McPherson is set to face a judge for the first time tomorrow morning. For local coverage you can count on, I'm Ben Ryan, Action News Jax.
New tonight, about sundown, the Coast Guard called off the search for 3 missing fishermen out of Brunswick. Caleb Wilkinson, Tyler Barlow, Dalton Conway left Brunswick 12 days ago. They were supposed to return last Wednesday, October 18th. The Coast Guard says they searched more than 94,000 square miles from St. Augustine to off the coast of Maryland. They found no sign of the men or their 31-foot fishing boat, the Carol Ann.
Right now, law enforcement is in 2 counties searching for an attempted carjacking suspect who managed to evade arrest. This is a picture of 35-year-old Tony Smith Jr. He's 5'9" and has a thin build. Clay County deputies say that they know that he's changed clothes since he started running from deputies today. Deputies started their search around 9 this morning when a license plate reader got a hit on a stolen car at Blanding Boulevard and Baxley Road in Middleburg. Then they got 911 calls about a car smashing the gate at the Orange Park Country Club. You can see some damage to the arm of that gate. And then reports of an attempted carjacking inside the country club. A family shared these pictures of the car Smith is accused of stealing and abandoning in the driveway. Witnesses told deputies he then ran, jumping fences between yards. According to the Clay County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, he was last seen on Blanding at Kettering Way. 4 schools were put on code yellow lockdown, but those were lifted before the end of the school day. Based on the location and the man's direction of travel, Clay County deputies and JSO and the FHP are on the lookout tonight. And St. Johns County deputies are helping state troopers find someone who ran away from a traffic stop. A person ran after the Florida Highway Patrol pulled someone over on I-95 near County Road 210. A helicopter right there was helping in that search at the time. Action News Jax Jake Stofan was on a ride along with an FHP trooper who responded to that search. You can watch Jake's story right now on actionnewsjax.com.
New at 11, planes hired by the state of Florida are bringing military supplies to Israel. These are the same planes being used to help get Americans out of Israel. The state says it is also sending weapons, ammunition, body armor, and other military items. The state says it did not buy the supplies and is not specifying who did. New at 11, the U.S. military launched airstrikes on forces in eastern Syria linked to Iran in retaliation for an attack on U.S. bases in that region. New at 11, Action News Jax has obtained new images from one of the Mayport-based Navy units operating near Israel. And these pictures were taken just yesterday on board the USS Thomas Hudner. The guided missile destroyer is in the eastern Mediterranean, and these pictures show the crew landing and refueling a Navy helicopter. The Hudner is part of the USS Ford carrier strike group that also includes the Spartans helicopter squadron and the USS Carney. We've talked about that ship. That was the one that stopped a missile and drone attack likely to Israel, on Israel, a week ago. We also learned today that the USS Eisenhower carrier strike group is now in the eastern Atlantic on the way to the Mediterranean Sea. The USS Mason and the Swamp Foxes helicopter squadron from Mayport are part of that group.
Tonight, Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan held the last of her community conversations on the west side. Tonight, she met with community members in the Lane Wiley Senior Center in Hyde Park. One person told the mayor the city needs a curfew to reduce violence. The mayor promised to talk to the sheriff about that idea and restated her plans for a literacy program.
Because what we've learned is that 70% of our kids that go into our jails are not literate. They can't read at a third grade level.
The mayor also promises to revive the Jacksonville Journey program to give kids better things to do than turning to crime. Congratulations to Cinta, the Malayan tiger at the Jacksonville Zoo. She's pregnant with twins. The zoo shared a look at her ultrasound today. They said there were 2 cubs in there, and she's about 3 or 4 months along, which means by tiger standards, she's ready to give birth any day. This will be her second litter, but the first since she got here to the Jax Zoo in 2017, and her mate, Bashir, is a first-time father. Congrats.
Now, it's the Chief, Jacksonville's most accurate chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish.
Some pretty big weather changes are on the way. We'll begin with the 6 to 10 day outlook, which jumps ahead to next week with a big dip in the jet stream. While it's going to be quite warm the next several days, it's quite a change by the middle of next week. This would be from the 1st through the 5th of November, and below average temperatures forecast for Jacksonville, northeastern Florida, and southeastern Georgia. It'll stay dry through the middle part of the nation, wet in the Pacific Northwest. And as we see the transition for our area in northeast Florida and southeast Georgia, we should get some rain as the wind comes in off the Atlantic, producing some on and off showers, as I'll show you in the First Alert 7-day forecast. 5-sweep First Alert Doppler HD, dry right now across the area, though. And our sunset shot of the day from Lauren in Jacksonville. Send us yours. actionnewsjax.com/sunrise. So temperatures will stay warm. The winds come down a little bit over the next few days. It's been a very breezy week, but an east-northeasterly wind only about 10 to 15 miles per hour for Friday and Saturday, and even a little bit lower by Sunday. Combine that with warm temperatures, it's going to be pretty toasty, and that includes the Florida-Georgia game. Kickoff 3:30 Saturday afternoon with temperatures between 80 and 85. It'll be partly sunny, and it will be a warm game for Saturday afternoon. And we stay warm right through the early part of next week. Your Saturday and Sunday always in view in the First Alert 7-day forecast. By Halloween, still pretty warm under a partly sunny sky. Then the changes move in for Wednesday and Thursday. It becomes windy, cooler, with a few scattered showers at times. ActionNewsJax.com. Download for free the First Alert weather app. And tomorrow morning, Garrett Biedenbaugh with your First Alert forecast.
All right, thanks for joining us for Action News Jax at 11.
Have a great night and stay with us for 15 minutes of high school sports action. The Friday night, Thursday edition Blitz is next.